Greetings and salutations. There we go. Looks like everything's going. Apologize for being a minute or so late. A couple of minutes late. I went back to taking a nap this morning. I slept a whole lot Sunday. Yeah. A whole mess of sleep on Sunday. And then I didn't sleep a whole lot last night. And so I woke up early, very early this morning, and grabbed a short nap a little bit ago. No, double daily dice must be done. So I would have assumed that was more than 1,000 if it was double daily dice. All right, let's get some junk sold. And then we'll take a look at what we want to start next here. Excuse me. There we go. Hey, Tlab. Good morning, buddy. Whew. It's like a weapon aura for a glamored weapon aura this morning. Yeah, it certainly feels weird, doesn't it? I know. I think I was more awake before I laid down to take my nap. I must have actually gotten some sleep. I really just want to go back to sleep. I'm probably going to end up having to take a nap. Before the afternoon stream. So you may not go the full time today either. So the current plan is to play on Solana for a little bit, and then we'll take a shorter break than usual, and then we'll come back. Excuse me. We'll be coming back early, basically, is the long and short of it. And I'm not exactly sure how early, but we'll be coming back at least a little bit early tonight to meet up with Nim and Dom's group. Couldn't get Mr. Sandman, so you're going to push it. Pushing to make tonight TR night. Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna try going crazy. What level are you now? Guess I can get my friends list here. 17. Wow. Congrats. Alright. Let's hit the desert. Pretty sure we're at Hit the Desert land. Usually that's what I do around level 17. We're going to be fighting some undead. We could have got on a horse, I guess. Yeah, just trying to stay awake right now is getting me. Like I said, I laid down about 90 minutes ago, thinking, I probably wanted to fall asleep. Alarm went off at 10:15, whatever it was. I'm like, oh man, just gonna lay down for another half an hour, or stay in bed another half an hour. That was a mistake, I think. I think that's when I actually slept, was that last 30 minutes. trying to see what all's going on here. My phone just like chirped at me a whole bunch over the last minute. I put out the new ban restricted list that I woke up to. That was a shock. None of those were things that I expected this morning. Yeah, that ban restricted announcement was crazy. I put it on the, here it is. Wilderness Wreck, Growth Spiral, Teferi, Cauldron Familiar. Like a bunch of my, like, quote unquote current favorite cards. Yeah, I saw that. I'm kind of, I guess I don't understand familiar necessarily. It is good. It's a pretty interesting card. I guess I didn't consider it to be that strong of a card, maybe. Oh, we decided to try Comet Fall instead of Blade Barrier. Okay, I remember now. Should be I'm getting there. I'm booting up. Starting to remember how the game plays. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Wilderness Reclamation, but I do kind of dislike Growth Spiral. Teferi I can take or leave. I mean, it's just another card I'll play in Modern instead. Actually, to be fair, I feel like Teferi was a card to battle other control decks in a meaningful way. Yeah, the cat's, I guess, the shock to me. I know that it did well the last couple of weeks, but you know, it's a deck that I play, is the Sacrifice deck. So, as usual, it feels like I'm getting tagged here. That was a mistake. Gotta get this Carnage Reaper off my tail. There we go. Yeah, I was really thinking that one of the Goblin cards was going to get the axe as well. I heard a rumor that they were going to hit it last week as part of an emergency ban, and that kind of made a little bit of sense to me, but I don't know. I'm usually not a big ban it guy. And again, these kind of feel odd to me. But it is fine. A lot of these cards are going to rotate. Well, not a lot. A bunch of these cards are going to rotate here in a few more months anyway. Pioneer, I think, is what really kind of shocked me. It looks like they basically hit all of the big combos. So Pioneer might be in a really interesting spot for innovation again. Which is kind of cool. So you don't have a new rune arm equipped at the moment too? Oh yeah, it's just the stupid little fire one. see what else is going on that we can talk about for a minute. Why I'm trying to wake up enough to actually be able to play in a halfway decent fashion. Torp Season 2 of Umbrella Academy. I know some people are still in the middle of watching it, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But it was... How did I sum it up? I summed it up on Facebook saying something like the best show that I didn't know, or I still don't know if it's good or not. Something like that. Like I can't decide if I like the show, dislike the show. What I will say about it is I'm usually very good at predicting television shows in particular. I would say I'm probably like 80% on predicting shows in general. And I bet you I was only like 60% on Season 2 of Umbrella Academy. There were some twists is what I'm trying to say. Some things that I did not foresee happening. And I love it when a show can surprise me. Here's a mind game for you. You get to unban one card, ban one card, and unwrite one card. Make it so it never existed. I'm trying to think if there's a card that I would ban. I'm trying to think about any parts of those, I guess. What would I unban? Probably Oko. I like Oko. I like Oko a lot. It's possible that some of the settings on it need to be tweaked. Like maybe the +1 is minus on it. Like I could understand something like that. But I liked Oko. I thought Oko was not nearly as broken as a lot of people thought. Like I watched people draft it in like the vintage cube and stuff, and they all were like, Oko is broko, and then it just gets them. Like it gets them nowhere. It's where maybe if they had a restricted list in standard, that would be something. Anyway, I feel like people did not give Oko a chance to get wrecked. I kind of think Mystical Dispute is an unfun Magic card. what would be a card that I would never have made? That... I don't know. This is where I'd put something on the list that a lot of people would be like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I really want to say Healing Salve. I feel like Healing Salve is a card that set tempos in Magic the Gathering history that if I could go back and change it, 1 mana for a 3 effect would be much different for white. I'm not sure exactly what it would be off the top of my head. I feel like making three little dudes is probably not the right answer, but that's exactly where my head goes. I feel like people because of that card and people realizing how good Ancestral Recall was, like, I feel like it set Magic down a path. Ban Uro, unban Twin, unwrite Excoriate. Yeah, Uro's another card that could potentially use a banning. I don't know. I don't think it's so good that it needs banned. I also feel like green has been on the bottom so long that you could give green a little bit of love, a little bit of extra time in the sun, and it'd be okay. So Blade Barrier right now would just be sweet. I could cast like 3 Blade Barriers and just move in a circle and forget this quest. The MTG room is Excoriate. Oh, it's a card from Conspiracy. That's why I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was kind of excited to try Underworld Breach and Pioneer. I was looking at a black, red, like a hand trash using Young Pyro deck. some burn action. So knock that guy out. We have not ready for this one, so we'll do this one next. Oh, what's his name? Chris Patuka, I think is his name, just asked a question. When's the last time competitive Magic had a sustained period where most players felt like things were on the upswing? It's a good question. I feel like right after the rotation on, that reminds me, I need to go get this book for the new Keith Baker book. I feel like they're right after the rotation from Ravnica Theros standard rotation. Most people felt like that was literally the time of 2 decks. Never been that guy who said there's only ever been there's 2 decks when a format is kind of dominated like that. I feel like it's an opportunity for people like myself to kind of prey on the format a little bit. That being said, it's because I stumbled into mono black. Kind of before I think a lot of people did, specifically with Pack Rat. I still play Pack Rats to this day because I like it. Did like season 2. I think something's better than season 1. The pacing was better. Yeah, I could agree. My issue is, I guess I just don't like Ellen Page or whatever her name is. I really didn't care for her in season 1. I was warming up to her character in season 2. Also, I really like the Luther character. I'm a little bit more than just annoyed that his character basically just gets written off into this oblivion. I'd like to see something actually happen with that character. Did like how the Diego character, however, got some love. I feel like that was good. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like season 2 was very good compared to. But a lot of things I also really like about the first season. So again, I can't decide if the show is good or not, though. Like, it's enjoyable. I think a lot of the other casting on it is 9 out of 10. Yeah, I don't really feel like she was the villain. in season 1. Also, I love villains. Some of my favorite characters are villains. In fact, I would even say most of my favorite characters are villains. True. Iron Man is like one of the few exceptions to that rule, but like, Carnage is high on my list. Venom's high on my list. Quality villains make what make stories interesting. You know, like, the Mandarin is an interesting villain. He challenges Iron Man in a different way. Fin Fang Foom, for example, I think it has some real play. Trying to have this conversation when my brain is still booting up is not fair, but like I love like a good anti-hero as well. Like the Punisher from Daredevil was great. The Kingpin, I mean, you hear me quote that Kingpin character all the time. See it now, right? Yeah. Although I will say the what's that name of the series? The infamous Iron Man, I think maybe is what it was called. The Superior Iron Man. That was a really enjoyable season for me. There was like a year roughly, 6 months, something. Yeah, it was more than 6 issues. Yeah, so probably about a year. About a year worth of run where a lot of the villains became good guys, and a lot of the good guys didn't necessarily become villains as much as they like had their personalities tweaked slightly. Looks like somebody went down this hole and made a friend. And brought said friend to me. Said friend does not want to stand still long enough to get zapped. Alright. Let's heal up before we raise our companion here. I don't know, Ellen Page, or whatever her name is, might just be another one of those people that I dislike for no real reason. So I was working on the backyard mowing this weekend, and I had just moved to the backyard, and there's like a little patio area on my back porch because the grass was really tall. So I was trying to start the mower there where I knew that it, where it could start and I could run off of the patio rocks and onto the into the grass and get started. But I was too close to the door. I like slammed the corner of the door and like rode it all the way up to my wrist. Managed to even like break the skin here, but I'm sure. I mean, you can't see a visible bruise on my arm, but it's one of those like, I don't know, invisible bruises, whatever you want to call it, subdural bruises, whatever the wording is. Oh man, it is sore. It is really sore today. The Rock just bought XFL. I don't even know what that is. Looks like some sort of football. Okay. Well, good for The Rock. I'm not sure how that guy didn't get killed earlier. Isn't $15 million for like any kind of football league though low? I understand if it was just a team. Yeah, these are things that I would love to be more passionate about. Super unpopular. Well, right now, America could use some sort of shared sporting event type thing, so maybe there's an opportunity. If anyone can turn something like that around, though, I imagine it's The Rock. The man seems to have the Midas touch right now. See, I don't think I want to fight those rusties if I can help it. Yeah, this is fine. I do apologize for being tired this morning. I said I do not like giving you guys a less than stellar show, and I feel like today, right now anyway, is probably that. Although, you are getting to see some... Don't do it. Don't come at me, bro. Okay. How dare I have normal human emotions? Yeah, I'm just tired. I don't know if these are normal human emotions. Said I just, it was definitely a weird weekend. It's been a weird, like, week in general, right? Really? Earth elementals can petrify you now? How long has that been a thing? I will tell you that Cougar Town has definitely become one of my favorite things. That show is really fun. It really is. I'm having so much fun. I've also been watching Yellowstone, and I've been watching Winona Earp just restarted for season 3. I'm not loving Winona Earp as much as I did the first season. I really enjoyed the first season. Oh, send me a DM. Oh, I replied with the text there. Basically, there was a bunch of like things sprinkled in that didn't go the way they thought they were going to go for season 2. In fact, if you think about it, or you go back to what last or a couple of shows back, I don't remember when exactly. One of the shows I specifically was asking about that character in particular. There was a reference made. By the way, it's, I think, pretty interesting. I think it was kind of intended to be a little bit of a throwaway line. But, I think they telegraphed a couple of things pretty hard. For season 3, we'll see if my subtle detector worked out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We can have a longer, more detailed talk about it in a month or so on stream. I know. It's all good. That's good. I did want to like fire this off without warning. Definitely was my goal there. I know. When for example, one of the lines that comes to my brain that kind of I feel like was a big telegraphing line, it instantly stood out. Again, when we get a chance, we'll talk about it to lab off air, and I think you'll probably disagree with me. You'll probably go, it's not a big deal. But totally is a big deal. I'm sure it's a graphic novel or I know it's something because I saw some panels. graphic novel or a comic run or something. So like if I really, really wanted to, I could probably do some reading. Yeah, it's a graphic novel. Oh, you've read it even. Oh, I didn't. I saw some panels and I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. But I didn't pursue looking into it deeply. Yeah, I don't know. It's again, there's like either the characters are 10 out of 10 or they're duds for that show for some reason. To me, anyway. So. I really like the 5 character in particular. I know My Chemical Romance is a band. I think he was also on an episode of the Comic Book Men. Now that you say that, maybe not. Which didn't get another season, which I thought was kind of surprising. Maybe people are done with those kind of shows now. The Pawn Stars formula. Might have ran out a little earlier than I would have thought. Leave me alone. Just trying to open this door so I can leave. I don't know. I like the 5 character a lot, and I like the let me get the name wrong. And non-Helen Page female character. I want to say Angela, but I'm pretty sure that's incorrect now that I start to say it out loud. Allison, thank you, Allison. I like the Allison character. This season, I tweeted out to him. I'm trying to think of his name now. Again, off the top of my head. Everything's all scrambled at the moment. He was not on Comic Book Men? Okay. I know, one of the big comic book rapper guys was on there. I thought he was also. Hey, good morning, V-Love. Thanks for the biddies, my friend. Oh. Dollar bills, yo. Thanks, my friend. Scrooge McDucky says, cha-ching. Cha-ching. How you doing, bud? Hope you're having a good day. Eating some breakfast. Oh man, I'm looking forward to having some breakfast. How long have we held? 6 seconds. Just trying to line up a good shot here. For whatever reason, anything even remotely close to terrain blocking seems like the last couple of days has been just that, like massive terrain blocking. So like right now he's on a slightly higher piece of the ground than I am, and I feel like that even that's enough to mess things up for us. Yeah, that was good. I know. I also really like the handler character. I think she does a really good job. Careful, my guy. One of these days, I'm gonna get a sausage made for you, and it's gonna be man flesh. Also, for those of you who are kind of interested, I don't know how many of you actually are, but the wife and I did put together a Thrive box this week. I don't remember exactly when it's supposed to arrive, but it's got a lot of the keto noodles in it. So I'm hoping to be able to get some like occasional macaroni and cheese and stuff in. It's one of the things I actually miss the most. Macaroni and cheese and ramen. I couldn't find ramen noodles on there. Well, that's not true. I found something similar to ramen noodles on there. Something that I think will be close enough. Kind of scratch that itch. We'll just have to wait and see if it is actually close enough, though. I don't know, however, if I'm gonna, to be honest, if it's gonna be something that we're gonna do a lot or not. I need to die for 13 days, lost 5 pounds. Nice. Yeah, I haven't weighed in today. I should have. I'd usually try to weigh in on Mondays, but I also was gonna do a fast, but I wasn't really ready for it. So I ended up eating around, I don't know, like 7 yesterday. Sap this guy. But anyway, I woke up this morning ready to eat. I didn't, but I was ready. Excuse me. In good news camp, I noticed that the British coupling TV show is available on Amazon Prime, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite shows. Season 1 and 2 in particular, I think, are very good. Season 3 I didn't love. Oh, we need to probably just go into straight up heal mode for a minute. But season 1 and 2 are great. 10 out of 10. Hey, Emerald. Welcome back. How you doing? Glad to see you. Good. Glad you're doing good. I don't know how this matters to people, but I also saw that Courtney Cox has agreed to reprise her role in the Scream universe for the next for Scream 5. How they continue to make movies on that franchise is beyond me. You love Downtown Abbey? I have not actually watched any episodes of that. Is it on Amazon? I think it is, actually. I think I saw it on one of the streaming services anyway. Would you come over here, Durham, and pull this stupid pull a lever. I don't care which lever, just pull one. Pull one so I can pull the other one. Prime. It's on Prime. Thought it was on Prime. Yeah, I might have to check it out. Like I said, I've heard people say good things about it, so check it out. I know there's so many things right now that I'd like to get watched. It's pretty funny. To me, anyway. Last week, the wife wanted to do something, but she couldn't decide what. She was like I don't know, I don't want to say pestering, but she was kind of pestering a little bit that she wanted to do something. I'm like, sure, babe, whatever you want. You know, like whatever. We can hang out. And, she just didn't have any ideas of what it was she wanted to do. So, while she was running around not doing anything, I started Iron Man 1. You know, I really figured we'd watch, like, the opening few minutes. She would decide, okay, let's do X or Y or Z or whatever. And we would have moved on. But instead, we ended up watching the entirety of Iron Man 1. And, that's not the funny part. So then, yesterday, She was like, "Oh, I thought we'd hang out and do something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, like what?" And she's like, "I don't know, watch Iron Man 2," to which I did find hilarious. It's not that I dislike Iron Man 2, but it is not Iron Man 1. Poor lady. The problem in particular about yesterday was just that I slept so much and I slept on the couch. I couldn't get comfortable. I still can't get comfortable. So I had to come down to my office and sit in my comfy chair. She comes downstairs at 11 o'clock. She's like, "You never came back." I'm like, "Did I say I was gonna?" She goes, "Yeah, you said you were gonna." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Yeah, I just apparently forgot that I committed to returning to hang out. Need to get the arena calendar updated also. Something I need to do this next couple of days. Probably later today. Pass. Do over. What do we got? Pass. I feel like all this is pass also. Yeah, we're also not even getting like 100, only 50 on the favor rewards even. Pretty lame. Yeah, I definitely did not get what I was expecting out of that, for sure. The issue with Iron Man 2 is like most. I think we'll take that ring. It's a problem that happens with a lot of different superhero movies. Is that they spend so much time in Act 1 and Act 2. Instead of giving them like the extra 15 minutes they need to make Act 3 kind of come together, they end up rushing Act 3. I don't know if you could trim 15 minutes out of Act 1 and Act 2 of Iron Man 2, for example. But this notion that if a film is 15 minutes longer than you wanted it to be, it's too long, is not one that I'm a supporter of. Also feel like we could use some movies where the bad guys win in general. I think that's part of what made the Infinity War kind of interesting for people. Well, I mean, it's they're superhero books, right? Like when you're talking about superhero movies, it's hard for the bad guy to win in a superhero movie. At least not for a long period of time. That being said, I think that there's probably some quality bad guy win-esque moments coming up soon. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't want this burst, right? Is this burst stronger than the divine empowerment, though? Probably not. Most superhero comic book movies, it's not about the ending, it's about the journey. I mean, if you pick up a comic book and you read it, you kind of have a pretty good idea of how it's going to go, right? Like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to pick up a comic book and be like, "Oh, wow, this is completely out of my expectations." Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get a comic book show and it takes you by surprise. Like if you want that kind of show, you want things like The Boys. It's kind of a show where things are a little bit more of a shock. I feel like Daredevil and Punisher, to a lesser extent, Iron Fist. Why did I even hit this button? It's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? The P button. Alright, we have some Tomb series. Oh, we have Chain 3. Or Chain 2, sorry, Chain 2. Yeah. Let's go to... I wonder if I didn't grab the teleport bottle out of the bank. I don't see it. Huh, I must not have. Weird. But think about it, how many like action-y type movies do you go see and you're like, oh, like, do you complain about how you know the ending when you go to a James Bond movie? I doubt it. Or when you go watch Fast and the Furious 11-7, whatever number they're at now, I don't expect those guys to get wrecked. So all those guys are literally, particularly Marvel superheroes. Marvel superheroes are literally just people. Hawkeye's a great character. I would have to think about it to tell you which comic book run it is, but there's a Hawkeye run, which is basically just like him and his non-Avenger life, which is actually really, really fun. I can't think of what it's what year it was right now, but it's one of the newer ones. I've always found it to be a enjoyable series. No keys, we'll just go this way. I don't know, I think that's part of the reason I've always loved Iron Man, was that he was just a normal guy who used his brains to do something incredible. I don't know. Again, I'm pro, if people want to have giant muscles, they should have giant muscles. But I feel like there's definitely room to be more than meets the eye, as it were. This is 40. I haven't been paying attention to what they're. Oh, famine. I haven't paid attention to what they've been giving me for hit points for heal. Probably need to pay slightly closer attention soon. I know. Like I said, nobody went to Jaws thinking, oh, this shark is going to eat everybody. Sometimes it's about the story. It's about the journey. Oh, that's good. Yeah, see, I never thought Jaws was a particularly exciting story. It's okay. Like, I could understand why people like it. It's just, I don't find it to be particularly exciting or unpredictable. Again, that's the thing about, for me, is that can I figure it out? And how early do I pick up whatever subtle hints are there? You know, if I end up picking up a hint in the first act that tells me, oh, I understand how this is going to play out now, I do get a different kind of satisfaction than I do if I get surprised. Like, when something just comes completely out of the blue for me is when I'm like, I kind of get startled a little bit and I really start taking more notice of what's going on. We were talking about Umbrella Academy Season 2 and how I felt like there was a lot more in Umbrella Academy Season 2 that took me by surprise than Season 1. Season 1, you just weren't given information. Season 2, I felt like you were given a lot of information, but it was fed to you in a misleading and or put a firewall here. Misleading or and misleading or weird. I keep getting texted. Why my phone's going off? That's the same text I had a minute ago. Anyway, I love being surprised, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like, especially in the superhero movies lately, I feel like you get surprised. More often than not. That being said, I did basically predict the Infinity War outcome. Trying to think what else. Like, what other big chain thing did I basically predict? I don't know. I feel like I do a pretty good job of most of those things. Surprised we didn't get attacked there. Also, that's a little bit weird. Alright, so as usual, we're gonna just go up here, get this stuff mad at us. We're just gonna walk away. Put our hireling way back here, I guess. See if we're allowed to Oh, it looks like we're gonna be able to zap this chick from a million years away. Honestly, not. I honestly expected to be like put into harpy, can't do anything mode. Oh, okay. Crumbling gloves. Look and see if the ones that we have are special. Oh man, so what else do we want to talk about today? Oh, we're trying to stay awake. I'm going to be really honest though, we're probably only going to go another half an hour or so this morning. I am going to be coming back early tonight. I think around 5 or 6 Central Standard Time. Probably closer to 6. But we'll see. Yeah, our helper timed out. I do like this Raven at the Door quest. It's one of my favorites. Moonstone, lame. Took us a long time to get through that pile of junk there for a bunch of skeletons. We should have a pretty reasonable turn. So this is +5. I think we had it in our hand. A little bit disappointing. Oh, I knew we were gonna fall. I felt it happening.
You fell in again. Good job.
I know I'm the best. Gravity is my friend.
I'm horrible at those scrums with stupid steps, running the wrong door all the time.
Well, I'm not worried about running the wrong door, but the turn can be harsh.
Oh God! People don't stop calling me all day.
Ever since you started playing Star Trek Online, you've been getting snubbed by DDO streamers. I guess you're an apothosate. I mean, there are lots of people out there who say things like, oh Oh, what's the most common thing you hear? Like, oh, X game made you, and without X game, you're just gonna get wrecked. And then a few months later, you'll switch games, and then they'll say the same thing about. People will say that about the new game that you're playing when you go to the next one. And then you like rotate 3 or 4 games back to your original game, and that's where people will be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're gonna play X." You hear those stories all the time, or at least I do as a streamer.
Yep.
Like, I considered some other MMOs, like Star Trek Online was one of the other games that I looked at playing for a little bit.
Black Desert, that's another one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd play that one. I've watched some people stream it, and I feel like it would probably mess with my head. But I would look at giving it a shot.
Just become a cosplay person. Just do that weird stuff. No idea what it is, but it's just weird to me.
Yeah, play dress up.
It's just weird. Doing stretches and yoga. I'm like, what are you doing? But they got like 10,000 followers and viewers, so
Most of those are attractive young ladies.
I was trying to get Cammy to do it. She said, why would I do that? I said, because you do yoga all the time, and you can make a lot of money probably. Then I have weirdos like hunting me down. I said, it's okay. They're hunting you, not me. She's like, thanks for the support.
You'd be surprised. I did speak to you. Yes, I returned. Have you seen a raven? Praise DDO because they put effort in fixing problems and compensate people for loss. Star Trek Online says they can't compensate for your loss due to a game issue, but leave work for a bonus to get what you lost.
DDO has never given me anything for messing up.
Well, I think he's referencing things like how game worlds have been up and down and unstable the last couple of weeks. So VIPs are getting two days added to your sub time to help make up for that, and then I think some points.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not the first time that they've done stuff like that. They do stuff like that a lot.
Yeah, I started noticing because I got a ton of points, so I don't really look at them out. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. They usually don't give points, but they do add time to your subscription a lot. Then they'll put out something else, like they did a cake. Like if everyone got a free cake.
I did get a cake today. It was on my inventory. I'm like, where did I get this from?
Yeah. Everyone got like a cake or something for some of the random problems that was happening.
It should give you a free 20 heart.
I mean, they should just put 20 hearts for sale in the store, but...
I agree. All the time. I would have been buying a bunch by now, but... Now when they come out on sale, what if I'm like gone? Like I'm working or something, I can't, get them. I forget. Then what? Right?
Yeah, I don't know why they artificially try to create demand, I guess. I mean, it must work for them, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't do it.
I'm demanding it, and I'm not getting it.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I just don't. I don't understand some of their logic.
Maybe because I'm not on the Players Council, that's why I don't get anything. I don't know. I'm sure they get stuff.
I don't think so. I think it's all volunteer.
I'm pretty sure if people volunteer to do music for me, I think I'd probably give them something. Just going on a hunch. A limb.
I mean, I've been asked to do it several times, and I've always kind of looked at the extra work that you have to do versus the benefits of knowing certain data or whatever, and it just feels like, nah. But I said, as far as I know, they don't cover your sub. They don't. There's no. It's just you have the honor / privilege of being on the Players Council. I could be incorrect. Again, like I said, I've never actually done it. I've known lots of people who have been on it.
Yeah, they wouldn't want me on it.
I'm sure they would love to hear. I mean, everybody that's...
No.
If for every person, there's somebody out there who you're speaking for. You know, there's probably, you know, say there's 250,000 people that play DDO. I don't know what the number is, but let's just pretend it's that many. You know, for everybody out there, there's some other number or some amount of people who are out there that think like you think, and maybe that's not represented.
I just want the random effect. That's all I care about.
That's never gonna happen.
I know.
The game cannot do
Because people will be upset, like, oh, I can't
That's
just
not
zerk
it
through
at
the
all.
same traps all day. Oh my god, they're moved. I gotta actually
That's
think where they are now.
not it. The game cannot support it. You're talking about a new game. The game engine cannot do what you're asking.
I don't know. I think everything's possible.
It'd be like trying to take your car, your truck that you drive around all the time, and like go and drive it in a NASCAR race.
But I could. I might lose, but I could.
No, your car would go for a little while and then explode. It's not a...
Well, how about randomize the monsters then? Keep the same exact monsters that are in the game.
They do that. The best thing you're gonna get... The best thing... You know, see this? They have spawning locations. Like, monsters spawn where there's a spawner. That's... Again, that's how that game... Unfortunately, how the engine works. The best they can do for that kind of randomization effect is the champions. Which they did. They added champions. When a monster is spawned, there's a chance that they're a champion, and the champions have random effect. Like, where they could, they have added as much random as they can get away with. Within the rules of the engine.
Let's say not random. Let's say the quest you just went in. Let's say there's 3 different versions of it. It's all the same monsters, same traps. But maybe the boss is in the bathroom. Maybe the boss is having a meeting with all those people eating dinner. So you kind of have to have a little bit, just a little bit of, you know what I mean?
We have those, and it's just different. Like, so like for example, they have that exactly what you're talking about is
But so that no one runs probably because they don't like it?
No, it's a super high experience points quest, so a lot of people tend to run it. I'm trying to think. Shadow Crypt is like that. Some of the challenges are set up that way. I'm trying to think of another one off the top of my head. One of the Ravenloft quests is like that. Amber Temple. Like, there's a lot of quests that are set up in a way where there are different variations of the quest. At least from A to B to C to D. No, it's not where we parked our car. I don't know. Like I said, it's where they can. They think they add that kind of stuff. It's just playing within the toolbox, unfortunately, that they can play in because
I get it.
The way the engine works. It's I'm not even going to say difficult.
Well, wilderness areas. I'll make them random.
They tried. They tried it with King's Forest, and they tried it with the other one that's out there. I always want to say Red Fins, but that's not it. High Road. Go try doing one of those. Because they both are jankety, they don't really work. People will do King's Forest and look for like one rare to particularly try to spawn, because the way that it works, it just creates infinite spawns, and you can like kill that stuff. But the rest of the Explore Zone is just, it's very unlikely that you're gonna. Did I not? Oh, I didn't talk to the Baron. You're very unlucky to or very unlikely to encounter rares in a way that makes sense, or at all, or whatever. Or you'll get them where they say they're there and they're not, or they have to have like a time delayed proc and they just never proc. Again, you have to think of Dungeons and Dragons as somebody DMing
the same thing over and over. I get you.
Well, they're following an adventure, yeah, like a published module. But that, you know, you don't have a live DM there to add those challenges in there, because they're just following the module straight as written. And it's not for everybody all the time. It's where we as the players have to kind of mix things up a little bit. Your builds, or
that's why I like unique builds, unique different weapons. Just
the
like
play style.
Different.
Yeah, I get you. I understand. It's like this quest. I used to do all the nuts and bolts of this quest, and then I got tired of it just taking forever.
Yeah, I never ran these quests by myself. I was running in a group. So I don't know what the dialogue is. I don't know what the people say, which guy to talk to, because people in the group are like, "Oh, go talk to these guys." What do? I just follow this guy. I'm like, okay, I'll follow that guy.
Well, it's time for you to go run the quest by yourself.
I'm just sick of dying, getting worked. So I have fun the way I play. It's fun for me. I was playing the other day with some people. I think I was on my 7th level fighter. He's a heavy pick user. Some guy messaged me, "Hey, man, you feel like that pretty good. What are you using?" He like named like all the typical weapons, right? Like people only use in the game. I was like, "No, I'm using a heavy pick." "Oh, why?" Like, it's got like a ×4 critical. My friend Sam says the critical's best because the Sword of Shadow is so great. So I went to make a heavy pick user. "No, you should be using a Kopesh." I'm like, "I'm not using a Kopesh. I'm using this. It'd be better." I'm like, "That's fine, but I'm not using it."
Yeah, the reason Sword of Shadows are good is because they have a wide critical range, so you're getting those crits consistently.
Yeah, my heavy pick I got 17 or 16 to 20 ×4. It's pretty good.
It's definitely got the high rate of like you can randomly delete somebody, which can be really cool.
And it's an old one too, so it's like Medeline. I got like a Ruby of Frost in it, and I think it's like a good slot. I don't remember, something like that.
But it's ooh, this is gross. It's only gonna be so.
He was playing an Alchemist, so I was like, oh, I didn't really value his opinion too much. If you think that I struggle in the game, he really was struggling. Because he was like a second lifer. He'd been playing for like 3 months. He was like a second life as an Alchemist. So I was like, well, I wouldn't have done that, personally.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a...
But they're so good, you can kill everything. I'm like, that's great, but you need to have like a lot of past lives. They're not very good until you get later on heroics, supposedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people succeed doing them on the hardcore server, and I've seen people punt real bad doing them on the hardcore server.
It's still my favorite game, so.
Well, that's good. Alright, so this is position 2.
Like I did typical medieval yesterday, 3 hours and I couldn't find the main boss guy. But I got 110 mushrooms, so I need some more. I can make my first upgrade my weapon. Because the wiki just really doesn't really help you. People have videos up, where of course they gotta go 6,000 miles an hour, and you can't keep up trying to play and watch a video. So I ended up just tossing my tablet against the wall, so I'm pissed. It's like, can I be a normal person, please? And how can you teach people? Yeah, how can you teach someone to do a quest when you do it? They do it so fast, and they got all these past lives. I'm like, you're not helping people that are trying to learn the quest. You know what I mean?
I don't. I'm still trying to figure out what quest you're talking about.
Temple of Elemental Evil.
Okay. Well, I think, especially for quests on those, like that genre, right? Is that people are trying to teach you how to do it in a quick and efficient manner. Again, I don't know. I don't know the quest at all. I don't. It's one of the quests.
It'd be like me giving you a crash course in music. I'm gonna tell you everything about music, Sam, in 2 hours.
Okay, well,
and good luck. And I'm doing it fast. Like, why can't you keep up? That's a C chord. There's an F flat. Come on, what's going on? Can't you do it? You're watching me. And it's like, dude, slow down. You know, it's like, come on. You know, not everybody's like Eric Clapton on guitar.
Let me turn around and rewind it and try again. I don't know. Like, I try to...
Like, yours are very informative. That's why I asked you. Remember, I text you and say, hey, do you have a toe video? You're like, no, you really have one. I'm like, shit.
No, I don't have a toe video because I don't. It's a quest that I have not fiddled around with very much. Alright, so I gotta kill this thing. And we're gonna have to shrine, which means we're probably gonna get murdered right here, but we'll try not to get murdered.
Set up your fireball.
Definitely gonna get murdered. Well, this is another one of those times where I really need the... This Fear Reaper didn't die. Where I really need the blade barrier to kind of do some hard carry.
Or a comet fall would be good, maybe.
All these things are immune to fire.
Oh, that's right. You know what works, Willow? Man, I had this Highlander today. It was Captain Holy Smite. And she was flooring everything. Was falling down, knocked down, man. Is that a spell you use a lot?
Holy Smite. Holy Smite doesn't knock things down.
I thought it did, 'cause that's what she only. All she had was that and.
You can blind, but that's it.
And dancing ball. That's all she was casting, and it just was falling over. I'm like, holy crap. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I don't know which hireling you are. When you get back to DDO, you're going to be running Giant Hold. Nice. I like Giant Hold.
It was a sword, 18th level sword, I think.
Yeah. Holy Smite is not a. It's a divine spell.
Okay.
But, I mean, again, a lot of people, they're trying to teach to where they believe their base is, or where they're trying to help people with, like how to get through something quickly, efficiently, or what, however you want to put it.
They put on the title of your stream says, this is how to deserve and get to this place quickly. Not this is how you do that. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, again, in their mind, maybe they think that that's inferred or implied, or like a lot of the videos that I've done. Like the road least taken, most taken, whatever. Not the least taken, the most taken videos. I'm trying to teach people the efficient routes. Trying to also like give out the hints on how to get things done or whatever. And not
But you also
everyone.
show people to like, okay, I don't usually go this way, but I'm gonna go this way for you.
Well, I do that in some quests, or I try
Yeah,
to show off all the things. But
yeah.
there's a
Like,
lot of
okay, this is
quests that.
optional. I don't do, but I'm gonna do the optional just to show you.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's why it's
But
good.
not everybody has that mentality. A lot of people are like, oh, well, this is nonsense, so we're just gonna skip it. And instead, we're gonna go over here and do this. It's different. It's not for everybody.
But when you're teaching somebody, you're not teaching yourself. You already know it, so you gotta teach somebody who doesn't know it.
Yes, but also some people want to.
I think everybody's in a hurry too. I think people are just in a hurry.
Well, not every video is for beginning people. Some videos are intended for advanced people, and yes, they probably should say that somewhere. But you know, a lot of times it's not something that is thought of. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why they got a dislike on every video for me. I've never in my whole life, I've never put a dislike on anybody's YouTube ever. Even stuff I thought was stupid, I still never did that. I was like, no, this deserves a dislike.
there you go. Oh, I can't believe I tried to cast a fire spell on that guy. I'm such an idiot.
You got your ice storm.
That's not a.
You can get a wand or a scroll and cast it.
No, not efficiently. Especially not in Reaper. A wand and a scroll.
Off your ring.
Wand or a scroll. I'm gonna get murdered again.
I think this is a great stream so far. I love it.
I think we are gonna get murdered again.
Come on, Eternal Law. Get him! Get him!
Just shows the weaknesses of this build.
It's a great build. You need a team. A team.
Well, viewers can join anytime they want.
Yeah, I think you're past my level.
You try to carry me through
I think
this.
I'm 11 or 12 or 10. I don't remember. And laying in bed so comfortable, the air conditioner and the fan on is way more important right now than playing video. And the house is quiet. Cammy's gone, working. The nieces at soccer. My mom's here though. She came up this weekend. She's gonna stay here for a couple of weeks. So you might hear her come in talking and blabbering, but she doesn't understand what a headset is, really.
Alright. Wow, look at that. Look how much mana I end up blowing just to try to get through that fight. Insane.
You got destruction, don't you?
No.
What's your insta-kill?
I have Slay Living.
Slay Living, that's what I meant, sorry.
But because we don't have any of the DC type effects over that, our DC is 35, which is pretty much zero in Reaper.
Hey, you don't have to do Reaper every quest. You can do Elite sometimes.
Huh?
You can do Elite once in a while.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. What?
Elite. You can do Elite.
What? Is that an option? Is that Reaper? Is that what you're calling Reaper 1? Elite?
It's kind of close, isn't it?
No.
I think you can do this quest on Reaper 4 personally.
Not on this build.
Uh-huh.
This build would run out of...
Get a Sword Kyreling. Just have him blast everything.
Sword Carling on Reaper 4 would just be dead all the time.
How come they don't have Warlock Hirelings?
This is something that they haven't put out yet, and they're probably never gonna.
You ever use the Ranger one in Epics? He's pretty good, man.
Also, no.
Maybe Dance to Death in people is pretty cool.
What is this Elite he speaks of? Never heard of it. I mean, that's the mode that people do on the hardcore server because they're too chickeny butt to do Reaper.
Mm-hmm. Let's just die over and over and over and waste time, right? That's a good one.
Sometimes. Sometimes you gotta bang your head against the wall to get better. You gotta play harder against harder and better opponents.
I agree.
I feel like I've heard this from this speech from somebody.
I tell you all the time, better competition makes you a better player.
Again, this is not a competition game though. That's the big thing.
This stream is gonna have the highest ratings ever you watch for this build.
Oh yeah, because of this build or with
Yep.
this build?
No,
Oh
because
my
it makes
God, I
people
forgot
watch like, man, the King Sam of DDO, is making it work. He got his build from a hack. He's not very good. He's making it like glorious.
Mmm. Glorious.
Sounds good, right?
I mean, you're blowing a lot of smoke up somebody. I'm not sure who. Medium Dragon Shard Fragment. Primo content. That's right.
I think it would have been better if you were a Warforged. It would have been better.
Then we never heal.
Yeah, you can get Healer's Friend.
You'd never heal. You'd heal for like 7 off of a heal spell. It'd be the worst. Like, I'm gonna spend all this mana to cast a heal spell. Like, joke's on you.
But you even said this build would be better in a group, and I agree because I was in a group when I played this build. It really worked well. It like helped out a lot.
Yeah, it needs the
companions.
extra love, which is not a style that I play. I don't play to have a group because no one can keep up.
Or has the time, like the set time to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one can keep up. Nobody has that. Everyone's got their schedule, and unless you're going to devote time and energy to like a static group or something, it's very difficult. He can prevent the others from dying, but not himself. The tale of Darth Plagueis. Yeah. It's like right here would be really good to have a blade barrier. I'm trying not having a blade barrier. I feel like blade barrier is definitely, like, I'm trying Comet Fall over blade barrier. I feel like that's wrong.
Well, next level you can pick up Blade Barrier, can't you?
Yeah, I mean I could do it now.
Oh, you have it. Oh, you do have it right at that level. You have it.
I'm just gonna die again. I think. I've gotten myself confused, trapped in enemy blade barriers. Trying to kill the blue Abishai with fire spells like an idiot. Just gonna skip this fight.
What about your Sunbolt? You blasting with that?
I could have, except they jump around and it's a super difficult spell to actually hit things that move. I don't know, there's certain things that I definitely do not like. Look at that spell shot over to the left. He's standing directly in front, or the right, standing directly in front of me, shot off out of the way.
Maybe he has like some resistance that we don't know about.
No, it's just the game not being able to properly calculate this stupid spell.
Maybe because you're too close to him, it doesn't differentiate.
It's possible, but he's just gonna chase us. That was a waste of time. Just get murdered again.
So earlier we were talking about movies and stuff. I like movies that have a lot of dialogue and acting like really good. That's why Jaws was seemed pretty solid. I mean, there's really good acting, good dialogue. So last week I picked a movie for us to watch. So like I like all movies. Cammy's young, right? So she likes a certain generation. But my niece is like way young, right? 12. So I picked Lawrence of Arabia. My niece loved it. Like was like stoked, so happy. I explained to her who Alec Guinness was and how he was in Star Wars and Peter O'Toole. Cameron hated it. Just hated it. It's just dumb. You're in a desert. It's Turkey versus this. And I'm like, she just miserably hated it. So it was just comedy. I thought my niece would like it, but she actually loved it. And then after that, she wanted to watch another one. So I said, okay, let's watch this one. Watch Spartacus. She loved it. Cameron hated it. So it's so funny. I have these two in my house. Like, one you think would like more like something, but it's the opposite.
Yeah, people. The taste in movies is definitely a thing, right? Like, or like for example, my wife She's a person who she'll get an album or an artist or something, and then she'll like spam it until she becomes like she makes herself sick of it.
Tired of it?
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, that's old now. And then once something is old now, she just doesn't like it. In her mind, once she's flagged it as something old. So, like, I'm trying to think what recently I put on, but I put something on not that long ago.
It's like Cameron picked the Notebook. We watched the Notebook. My niece hated it. Cameron loves it. I'm just sitting back laughing. I'm just laughing because my niece is like, "Why would she do that? We'll just leave them. How stupid!" And then Cameron gets all mad at her. I was like, "Ryan, you're not your uncle. You're supposed to think that all the time." She goes, "I'm a free thinker. I think how I want to." I'm just sitting in bed. They're between me. One's on my right, one's on my left. And I'm like trying to sleep away. Like I'm trying to slide under the bed. Like you just gonna escape. And then Cameron's like, "Where do you think you're going?" Like, get a drink. You have a drink. Like, I want another drink. You're trying to get out of this conversation. I go, I was never in this conversation.
And you're like, you're right. Look how smart you are. You're right. I do want out of this conversation later.
Yeah. I was like, I'm out of here. And I'm like, So it's just, I don't get it. It's just weird. It's like my niece is like an old soul, which is great. I think it's fine. I think a lot of young kids should I have an old cell phone from years ago. I have in my drawer. It's like an old Motorola flip phone from like 1994. I've always just kept it because it's my first phone. My niece is like, "Oh my God, it's pretty cool." I said, "Yeah, it doesn't have any She goes, "Oh, you can't do this." I said, "No, it's just basically you call somebody, and you had like redial, and you have you can put like 4 phone numbers in it. And that's it. And now they're bringing out the new flip phone. They're bringing a new one out. So she's like, "I want to get one." I'm like, "Oh, we'll see. Be good. Maybe we'll get one for you." So Karen was opposite. It's just stupid. Oh, well, dude, want to use something dead dumb. Just funny, just comedy. It cracks me up.
Some people are very like that. Oh man, we were doing so well on our viewers, and now, then I decided to fight this guy for no reason. Because again, just making stupid mistakes. I'm just tired. Just tired of making stupid mistakes. I was planning on logging off. Around 1, so we'll probably finish this quest and then...
You're level 13, right?
Yeah, for a little bit longer here.
This is regular server, not hardcore, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'll level my guy. I think I'm level 11. I'll level him up and I'll play with you tonight.
I will not be over on this server tonight.
Well, I'll play with you tomorrow morning then.
Tomorrow will be Remmie day, but maybe Wednesday?
Wednesday's fine.
Give you a reasonable, let you know when I'll be around.
Hardcore tomorrow, you doing raids and stuff?
I'm not sure exactly what's going on tomorrow, but
you should take Java bot and do a Temple of Elemental Evil video.
Yeah, that sounds bad on multiple reasons.
Why? See, I take my high level tune. I take like my 25 level tune and go do Temple. I'm not trying to play that. They're hard monsters, man. When you're like around that level, they're like, I think they're higher than they say they are.
It's because Java's bad at things right now, and until I figure out a build for him again, I don't know what to do with him. But also, I'd like to have at least a vague idea how the quest works before I try to record a video. I don't mind doing the videos where I don't, like, I don't have to know exactly what's going on, but I'd like to have at least a good general idea of what's going on.
I have the perfect stream content for you, and I figured it out. What you do is you take a viewer, someone like me, and you log into their video account, and you play one of their tunes, and you can critique how bad it is, how bad their gear is, how good their is, or not good. That is great.
So we could do something like that. The problems are couple-folded. One, nobody wants to have their character pooped on.
I do. I'm fine with it. I volunteer first.
2, Nobody wants to send somebody else their account information.
Oh, I don't
Nor
follow
should
it.
you.
It's just an account, it's a video game.
Yeah, it's...
I'm not giving my bank account information or something.
Yeah, but once I'm in there, you can do an awful lot of stuff. And be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of these things, like autos boxes, and then give them to somebody else.
Oh, I don't have enough points for that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, but your credit card's probably hooked up to your account. Just ding, 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 you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff gets weird. Now, that being said, doesn't mean that somebody couldn't, like, Skype in or do, like, a video call on, like, share desktop or something.
Just an idea.
Yeah, like, you definitely do a thing along those lines.
Because it'd be like me doing a music stream and saying, okay, today we're going to talk to Sam. He's going to bring some of his music in. I'm going to look at it, let him know what's going on. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to get information. It might be good, it might be bad, it might be great. It might be like, hey, let's work on this. It's not a personal thing. It's a help thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I feel like that's not very common.
I know. I tell you,
I think
all the
most
time,
people
tell me I'm weird.
I think most people are gonna want you to be like, oh yeah, look at your awesome stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Why do you think you would take it as the character is? You wouldn't go like, oh look, he's just in this holy falchion and it's like a level 3 item. Well, the guy's like been playing for 2 weeks. He doesn't have like Brovian gear. So you couldn't say that stuff sucks because like, well, it's what he's at. His level, his build, and stuff, that's pretty good for what he had, what he need, you know what I mean? I sure would do this as a music writer. Look at some guy go, oh, how much write this for? I've been writing for like a week. Oh, really? That's what you give me? This crap? This is garbage. Like, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, okay, let me help you some stuff. You know?
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's more likely that that kind of input turns sour on people. I think, like, an honest critique of your build or whatever, I think is, or your gear or whatever. That's all that kind of stuff is where things get really personal for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people, even if you have to, I feel like it's dangerous to try to like, you gotta be really careful. It's really easy for people to become butthurt out of nowhere for something like that.
I think you're the only streamer that could do it. I think some of the other ones, there's no way.
I don't know. It's possible. Alright, well, I think I'm still falling asleep here, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm going to get some food going. I'm gonna grab a little nappy nap and try to be back for hardcore server later this afternoon. So that's the original plan. I'm gonna join Nim's group. I don't know if we're taking 20 or if we're gonna continue to hold until we get boots materials together. I put a message out there for some people on the Death Smiles group, and a group of people are getting ready to do or trying to get together enough materials to get boots so we can do the Todd raid, Tower of Despair. But anyway, I put a message out there on the Death Smiles group, looking for anybody who may or may not have extra boots mats, which of course means that they did Shavrath, but they don't plan on doing the raid, and see if anyone's interested in helping us out with that kind of stuff. So we may or may not plan to do a bunch of boot farming this afternoon, I don't know. Let's just kind of play it by ear and see. But I'm also not 100% sure when we're starting. I thought it was going to be around 5 or 6 Central Standard Time, but it may be earlier than that. I'm not sure. So just keep an eye on the stream feeds and whatnot, and we'll be back as soon as we can. All right, buddy. Sorry for kind of the shorter stream. I probably shouldn't try to take that nap. I should have just stayed awake from 2 hours of sleeping this morning, but I was tired and I thought it'd be okay. And now I'm just really tired and not awake. So, all right, buddy. Peace. Much love. We'll see you guys in a few hours. Toots.